Hello, my name is Steve Carlson. I'm a retired global director from GE Aviation and a longtime volunteer for Junior Achievement. I'm especially excited to talk about this topic today in the global marketplace because that was where I spent a significant portion of my last 10-15 years in my career, working for GE Aviation, selling our parts to various different countries and companies around the world. And we also had suppliers around the world. We also had other plants and factories around the world. So it was a great experience for me, having been born and raised in Grand Rapids, Michigan, to get out and see a good deal of the world. And it's a great opportunity, but it can be very complex. And it takes a great deal of experience and or education. You've got to have the right people on your team, whether they're tax accountants, lawyers, contracts folks, especially when you're trying to sign deals and craft deals. I've done it in England, and most recently one of the real complex ones was in India because of the various tax laws that they have, far different than the deals we were dealing in South Korea or Japan or Greece. I got a chance to travel a lot, and it was great fun. But the global marketplace can be very confusing, can be very cruel if you end up signing the wrong deal and making the wrong commitment, especially when it comes to today's environment with tariffs on goods that are exchanged and shipped back and forth between the country. Currency exchange rates was always a big deal, especially when we were dealing with the UK, trying to convert US dollars into British pounds. It was always, your price could swing, by a number of percent, which can make a big difference on your profitability. So understanding those terms and conditions, the tariffs, the exchange rates in international commerce is very important. And then throw on top of that all the political issues. So of course we know the 2019-2020 tariff issues with China, but even more importantly, as we've seen recently with the UK exiting the EU, better known as Brexit, creates a whole nother set of complex terms and conditions in dealing with the UK or dealing with the euro. So one of the other experiences that I had, which was really quite significant, and it was kind of astounding that it actually got to this point. So GE Aviation, actually I'll go back a step. The United States government started looking for a new fighter aircraft, and they came up with something which is now called the Joint Strike Fighter, or the F-35. So in order to help sell that airplane to Congress and to keep the price down, the government enlisted, Lockheed Martin is actually the prime contract, they enlisted the service and the partnership of a number of international countries to get them to invest in starting up the program, and then they would guarantee we could sell them the airplanes at a lower cost, like they were a partner and based on the higher volume. And so the experience that I had is that the government agreed and actually encouraged us to go partner with companies in Turkey. Turkey is a NATO country, a NATO ally. They have a significant manufacturing capability. And so we went off and found suppliers in Turkey, because if we would buy some parts from them, then we would get extra credit in our bids for the components here, because we're using a NATO partner country. Well, that worked fine for 10, 15 years easily, and even more, until, remember we talked about these political concerns earlier, until the leadership in Turkey, current President Erdogan, started taking a different approach to the way they do business and they run their country. And even though Turkey is a NATO ally, they decided recently, within the last couple of years, or 3 years, to buy a radar system from Russia, a non-NATO country. Well, the radar system that they bought from Russia has the ability to identify and track the Joint Strike Fighter, which is a key component of our Air Force and our airstrike capability. So why would we want one of our allies, a NATO country, to be buying radar that can, defeat the stealthiness of our most newest secret strike fighter? So the government decided they were going to pull everything out. So everything that we had set up with 15 plus years ago with Turkey, the suppliers, the parts, the manufacturing, it all had to be resourced and made in another country, either in the U.S. presumably, or another friendly country that was not violating the terms of the agreement by buying this radar system from a non-NATO country. So all of the things that we did correctly were thrown in the trash can because of this political decision made by the leadership of Turkey. And so these are things that are outside of your control. I love the trips that I had to Turkey. It's a fabulous country, very rich heritage, but all of a sudden it's trending in a very different direction. And so that's one element of the global marketplace that can just drive you crazy if you aren't careful. So I hope that someday you'll get a chance to take part in the global marketplace, travel a lot, and enjoy the different parts of the world. Just make sure you're always prepared. Thank you very much.